It has arrived. Mark Knopfler, the studio albums 1996 to 2007, the vinyl box sets. This video is a little bit delayed because I've had a couple of problems with this set, which I've been trying to sort out, but to no avail. So there are a couple of only minor problems, but they'll become apparent in the course of this video. Nevertheless, it's a very nice box set. Mark's name is sort of indented into the box there. It's not actually that easy to see on the camera, I don't think, but I think that could do with being a bit clearer. It's very nice, but they could have done an outline around it or something. I think that would have looked a little better. I don't quite know why they didn't make his name more clear, but still, it's got this sort of blue sky, fluffy clouds kind of design, which is not dissimilar to the sort of thing we saw on Tracker and Down the Road a River, actually. His latest two solo albums. But as mentioned before, we've got vinyl editions of Golden Heart and Saint of Philadelphia in here, which had never previously been released on vinyl. But first out of the box, we have these lithographs, which are the artworks, the covers of all the albums, and they've all got Mark's name embossed along the bottom there. Not sure how clear that is on the camera. Not totally sure what I'm going to do with these. I don't really have enough room on my walls. I've got too many Vulcans and lithographs and things hanging on them, but they're very nice. There's Shangri-La, Kill's Get Crimson, and the extra B-sides compilation, Gravy Train, which is included with this set. So getting into the records, now what do we have? We have, firstly, Mark's first solo album, Golden Heart. Lovely album, released in March 1996, and immediately we have An Problem. As you can see, or hopefully see, somebody in the process of manufacturing or putting this set together has dropped this this slipcase, and it's been compressed and creased in the corner there. It's not a major problem. It's not going to affect the records, obviously. It's just a bit annoying when you consider how much this set costs. You know, it's about 150 quid. So you would tend to expect them to take a bit more care over packaging these records, but nevertheless, great to have this album on vinyl. They've put all the lyrics on a separate sheet there. It's not a gatefold. It's just a single slipcase. All the records are included as double albums. So 14 tracks on there. Mark's albums are obviously too long to put on a single record. So that's Golden Heart. So that's its first release on vinyl. Very much looking forward to hearing that one. And then we have, once again, never before released on vinyl, Sailing to Philadelphia. Sailing to Philadelphia, even though it has a picture of a Boeing 737 on the front cover there. I never quite understood that myself, but there we are. No problems with this vinyl. This is I've checked over the records. This one's not been dropped. It's all in good condition, and it's going to be interesting to see how that sounds on vinyl, because I always felt with Sailing to Philadelphia, or at least I never considered Sailing to Philadelphia to be an album that you could hear on vinyl. In 2000, vinyl was pretty much gone as a mainstream format. So I don't think anybody at the time could have imagined putting an album like this on vinyl. So that's that, and then we have an album that means rather a lot to me, the Replicas Dream. This one, unlike Sailing to Philadelphia, I always felt would sound fantastic on vinyl. It's just the kind of album that to me naturally suits that format, because it's such a rootsy, acoustic orientated album. It's not an acoustic album. That it just fits the vinyl format well. You know, it's a beautiful album. It's so intimate, so heartwarming, and it brings back great memories for me, because this was released around the time that I started going to college and I started studying music and music technology, and so it brings back a lot of great memories for me. I love that photo on the front cover as well, chosen by Mark because he felt that it summed up all the things that are good in life. That's a lovely album. So that's those three albums I'm particularly looking forward to listening to on vinyl, because I never had, well, obviously Golden Heart and Sailing to Philadelphia were never released on vinyl. The Replicas Dream was released on vinyl, but only in limited quantities, and I never managed to get my hands on it. So I'm really glad that they've finally released that album again on vinyl. Now, the next one, released in 2004, is Shangri-La. Now, I do have the original vinyl edition of this one, and the original vinyl edition, which I have just down here, I'll show it off in a moment, was a double fold-out gatefold release. For some reason, they've not included it like that in this set, and it's just a slipcase. I'm not quite sure why they've done that, because you would have thought that they would have replicated the original releases, because with the next album, Celtic Crimson, they did. It looks exactly the same as the original album. Another thing about the original release, which I'll just throw off now, is that it had this lovely, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it had this lovely gloss finish. And it's just a really nice artifact. It's just a nice thing to look at. And as I say, it's a double fold out. There we are, there it all is. And I'm also glad that I have this original release on vinyl, because when I inspected, I'm not going to show it on the camera, but when I inspected the first disc of the new release of Shangri-La for the box set, I found that it has what appears to be dirty finger marks on side B, which is incredibly irritating. Whether it's going to affect how it plays or not, I don't know. I'm going to have to see. Unfortunately, I bought this box set from Amazon, and I find it very unlikely that Amazon are going to replace individual records. I don't want to send back the entire box set, because then I'll risk other records having problems with them. So for two problems, it's not really worth the risk. So I'm just going to have to play it and see what it's like. But it's a bit careless, if I'm being totally honest, and quite annoying. But still, hopefully the quality of the sound on these records will override the problems that I've had. And finally we have Celtic Crimson released in 2007, and this is exactly the same as the original release. It's a gatefold, and there is Mark there, the man himself. And finally we have the B-Size compilation. So this is all the outtakes that were released as B-sides over the years between '96 and 2007. There are 9 tracks on here. This is just a single vinyl release, just 2 sides. And I like the way they've actually, I like the way that they've sequenced the tracks on here. They haven't just put them on there in chronological order. They've actually tried to sequence them in such a way that the tracks kind of fit together, which I think is quite nice. And it closes with The Long Highway, which was one of the B-sides on the What It Is single, which is a beautiful song, very reflective song. So I think that's very nice, and I'm looking forward to it. I've heard some reports saying that this B-sides compilation sounds particularly good. So certainly they've made some effort with this, and obviously Miles Showell has done some excellent work in here. So I'm pleased to finally have Golden Heart, Saint of Philadelphia, and the Replicas Dream on vinyl. Bit annoying to have these minor problems that I've had with the cover of Golden Heart and the B-side of Shangri-La. But nevertheless, it's a very nice looking box set, and I'm certain that the albums are going to sound great. I mean, we know that Miles Showell is a guy who really knows what he's doing, having remastered the Police albums, various Paul McCartney albums. So yeah, he's a guy with good ears. So there we are. That's Mark Knopfler's studio albums box set, 1996 to 2007.